Alright, Clark, here's the GP10. I appreciate you checking this out for me. I brought it out in the sun, so hopefully you'll be able to see better. There's the brake setup. There's already cotter pins on the insides on all those connections. It's already got the brake tether on it, which I assume is set up correctly. There's the bolts for the hold the steering wheel to the column there, and they all have the cotter pins in them. I'm going to assume that these two bolts that hold the steering arms to the shaft right there need to be cotter pin. I'm having a hard time doing the camera in my hand, but that'd be these bolts. So I plan on doing those today. The wheels and brakes are set up the same on both sides. They have this safety clip in it already, and even though there's not one in there right now, the bolt already has a hole in it for the cotter pin there. Now these bolts, you can see there's not really any way there's no extra bolt there to put a cotter pin in it. It does have metal lock nuts on it. That's the one that holds the caliper to the bracket, and I don't see any way I can really do anything else to those. That's just the standard CRG VEN 05 brake setup. So let me know if you see anything there. I do have, I remembered what you had told me on the other one, and I already have the set screws over the keys all the way around. The weights I don't need. You guys are like 20 pounds lighter than what MMX requires. Back here in the back, where the caliper is held to the bracket, there's already these safety clips. But these bolts that hold the bracket, I guess, to the chassis and the bearing hangers, don't have any kind of cotter pins or anything like that. Now these would be pretty easy for me to install cotter pins in if needed. They're already long enough so I can just take them out and drill them and do that. These bolts already have some sort of safety wire on them. I know that's hard to see, it's in the shade there, but they have some sort of safety wire on them. These are all metal lock nuts. Holds the brake disc to the to the axle. On this side there's already set screws for the sprocket. These already have set screws in them. There's one back in there, it's hard to see, there's other holes, but they have set screws already in them. The rear hubs have the set screws in them. I put those in again because I remembered what you told me from the other one. All of the fuel connections have the zip ties on them. I'm trying to remember all of the things that you've told me that I needed on the other cart. I do have vent, the vent from the fuel tank goes in there. That actually was a problem. I need to put a zip tie on that to hold it in. That kept coming out down at MMX, although no fuel shows up in there anyway. All of the connections at the tank have the zip ties on them. Cotter pin in that bolt that holds the the whole thing onto the whole steering wheel assembly onto the shaft. I don't know, I'm just trying to give you kind of a slow overview of everything else so you can see if there's anything else that you think I need to do to pass the tech inspection. There's a setup of all this. There's kind of from the outside. Alright, this one, it's the older one that Dad will be driving. Should be okay. This is the one that I safety wired and everything per your instructions down at VIR last year. So that one should be okay already, but if you see anything, certainly let me know, and we'll take care of it before we get there. I believe all of the fuel connections are zip tied. All of these are new since VIR, but I put the set screws in them over the keyways, both sides. Unlike the other cart, this one already has the cotter pins in the steering pieces there. Same thing in the rear. There's already, you can't see them on the video, but there's already set screws in the hubs. I put those in last year. And in the collars in there, both sides. All the brake hardware's safety wired. I know my fuel pump mounts are different from what most guys run. That's something that Dad came up with, and I know you expressed a concern that they might be in the way of getting the carburetor on and off, but actually they're not in the way, and because of the extra length of line there, all we have to do is take that one screw loose and the whole assembly will just rotate right up. Now the air boxes were required at MMX, and I actually have a foam filter in there that all came together. It looks more restrictive than the K&N filters that I had on them, but they, like I say, it was required at MMX. So if I don't need them for road racing, let me know and I'll take them off. I can't think of anything else to show you on there. So if you need any other view or anything else that you think needs to be inspected, please let me know. The cotter pins are missing from the brake assembly right there, but the holes are there. I just was doing some service and I hadn't put them back in yet, but I'll get those back in. Thanks for taking the time to do that, Clark. I really appreciate it. You know, I got kind of a shoestring operation. When I get down to Summit Point, I need to be ready to roll, so I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.